Are the women in Invincible written well? Welcome to another segment of And They Write Women, a segment where we analyze and dissect media that includes women, determine whether or not they're written well. Today we're talking about Invincible, the comic and the series. Robert Kirkman's work in Invincible was so good that I found myself often leaving feminism at the door. This comic was written over 20 years ago, and although looking back on it, it feels very reductive. At the time, this was the most diverse and revolutionary comic that was out, which is more of a reflection of how women were written in comic books at the time. My issue with the comic is although there are a lot of women, they are all written terribly. Mark's mom is written as a trophy wife, but any real agency or personality of her own, who exists really to just move the plot along in some point. Amber is written as a placeholder for the inevitable relationship between Mark and Adam Eve. Adam Eve, a woman with godlike powers, starts off the series dirty macking and beyond being Mark's love interest, really doesn't have a story of her own. Everything that happens to her is in relation to how does it affect Mark. The most egregious thing about Adam Eve in the comics, which I think will happen in the show as well, light spoilers for the comic books, we learn that she falls into that trope of very powerful woman needs guardrails placed in her head by a man so that she never goes full strength. Even after the audience learns how far Adam Eve's power really goes, she never gets control of it. Her powers to that extent can only happen when she's near death. And I get it, the comic is called Invincible. There are so many side male characters like Robot, Cecil, Bulletproof that are written well. The show is a completely different story. Kirkman heard some of our complaints about the women in the story, took time, reflected, apologized even, and then used the show to develop these characters more. Debbie has multiple storylines that exist outside of Nolan. She's now dating another man, which is crazy, and I love it. Amber had the nerve to be black with a personality, so naturally the fandom hates her. They will all argue that it's because she got mad at Mark that one time. Mark has been just as unreasonable and hard-headed, and they give him grace. But she's so much more fleshed out in this show and has so much more personality and even interest in Mark. I love it. Instead of being a grade A hater, Adam Eve has a lot of autonomy in this series. Not here to just be Mark's secretary or the perfect woman for him. She's his partner. She has her own thoughts and dreams. I still think that they nerf her powers, especially when you compare the way she fights in this versus in her own special. But I don't think it's a writing issue. I really think it's their limitations with animation, because Adam Eve should really be a problem. She can bend anything to her will, and I really wish we saw that more. All in all, I really see the effort here. The adjustments for the characters are still an amazing improvements from their comic book counterparts, but there's still some work that needs to be done. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it